Hi folks, I'm Jamie Hampton, dancer, director of Body Box. I'm here to introduce these fine gentlemen. You're here tonight at PNCA as part of the Idea Studios. This is an ongoing project that PNCA is doing around the country and eventually around the world. Idea Studios is meant as a forum to exchange ideas with relevant artists that are working in today's community. Tonight we're really pleased to have Billy Bragg with us. We're also honored with the presence of Barry Sanders.
I want to welcome you to the college. Really good. It's a kind of special event for us as part of this Idea Studio in which we've brought various kinds of artists to talk about their work. And so, what I'd like to start with, since we have lots of students in the audience and lots of art students, I want to use that phrase, the creative process. Yeah. And could you've been doing this for 30 years.
Yeah.
Amazing, seriously, a really amazing integrity, political integrity and commitment. Tell us, how do we do it? We're coming up to an election. How do we do it? And how do you do it? How do you write those songs?
Well, I guess you first and foremost have to be true to yourself and what you believe in, and find a way to articulate that. I use words. You might use another medium to get that out, to make something that's true and honest. Particularly if it's something that strives to overcome the cynicism that destroys so much of our the positive discourse. Those of us who want that free and fair society, our great enemy is cynicism, and I think art as a way of articulating both the hopes and the fears of people. If you can do that, if you can use your art to do that. But also, it's not just about writing political songs. It's life isn't all politics. It's writing love songs as well. I try and be as honest about relationships as I do about politics, because a lot of songwriters write about what happens in the bedroom. I happen to occasionally write about what's happening outside the bedroom window. So I think that's a positive way to look at it. And if you haven't left your bedroom itself as well, some students go through that odd period of working out how to get out of bed in the morning. But it's something that I'm able to do every morning, because as Barry touched on, for 30 years I've been doing this job. For the last 25 years I've been earning a living doing the thing I always wanted to do. And don't let anyone ever tell you that is the definition of success. Everything else is just icing on the cake. If you can make a living, if you've got a creative bent and you can make a living using that creativity, you're doing so well. You're so far ahead of everybody else who has to do dead-end jobs that they hate. That's for me as an artist, that's the most important thing about my career.
So this is a question for dear Elmer, okay? 1992, I think it was 1992. Nora Guthrie approached you, right? 92? The album dropped in 96?
Yeah.
And to write set witty songs to music. What happened? I mean, that must have been cool.
Well, the first thing that happened was I said, this is Bob Dylan's job, not my job. Come on, give me a break. Of course I know who Woody is and I know why it's important, but really, come on. This is a job this is Neil Young's job, isn't it? Have you asked Bruce Springsteen, where's Harlow when you need him? Come on. Stop jerking, stop messing me around here. Come on, what's
He didn't say that either.
What's going on here? And she said, and she was right, that this wasn't the job for a Woody Guthrie completist. Because the job that she wanted me to do was to find another aspect of her father that was there in the archive. She was concerned that he'd become a bit of a two-dimensional figure, and more annoyingly than that, an icon that people never challenged, never questioned. And she said, if anything, he was an iconoclast. He would have hated that. he would have absolutely hated that, you know, if they'd put some of these things on for him, you know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In fact, when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I went along and we did a gig there, and they said, you know, do something in the spirit of Woody Guthrie. So I said, okay, well, what I'll do is I'll steal all the silver cutlery and take a piss out the top floor window, which is what he did at the reception for the William Morris Agency with PNCA when he was,
Academy Awards, totally
exactly. You know, do something in the spirit of Woody Guthrie. I'll run off with your wife. You know, so seriously. No, seriously, that's the kind of guy he was. And Nora, in her wisdom, empowered me by saying to me, you know, there was this room in the offices where all the manuscripts are. And she said, forget the legend. I'll deal with the legend. I'll deal with Seeger. I'll deal with those people who say this is sacrilege. I'll deal with him. You just listen to the voice of the man in the archive. And that was so empowering. And plus the fact, this is a really important aspect as well, I think, Barry, if there'd have been the last few fragments, if there'd have been 6 or 7 songs, and it was the last bit, I would have felt, you know, this isn't my job to either, you know, use these or mess them up. But the fact that there were 2,500 songs, I mean, we could all make a bloody record. There wasn't so much pressure on me. So in the end, it was an opportunity to collaborate with the guy who founded the political songwriter genre. You know, he's the granddaddy of us all. You know, my 2 heroes, Bob Dylan and Joe Strummer, were hugely influenced by Woody Guthrie. Joe to the extent that he called himself Woody Mellors before he called himself Joe Strummer. So the opportunity to sit down in the room with the guy and read his lyrics and make those records was just too great an opportunity. And when I explained it to Jeff Tweedy from Wilco, he got it as far as I knew he would. And he, you know, led by Nora, encouraged by Nora, we both went into the archive and came away with aspects of Woody that we felt strongly about.
So I'm real fearful about the world, particularly now. I mean, global warming is one of my fears, and what the war contributes to it. And you wrote a song for I don't know if you wrote it for the Dukakis campaign in '88, or if you wrote it during that time.
What's that?
Help Save the Children of the World.
Help Save the Youth of America.
Help Save the Youth of America.
Yeah.
So, here's a line from that time when you said, I love this line. You're electing a president for all of us. Please, be more careful this time.
That's one of the responsibilities you have to live with, because the significance of the United States of America in the Western world. And over the last couple of elections have been scarily non-conclusive, in the sense that I don't feel that America's yet decided what it's going to be like in the 21st century. You know, Bush didn't get the sort of numbers that Reagan was getting in the 1980s when I actually wrote those lyrics. So we in the rest of the world, I think, give up on the American people at our peril. I'm very fortunate. I'm able to come to places like Portland and meet people like yourselves and you, Barry, and see that you know, we may be pissed off with George Bush, but you guys are even more pissed off with him than we are. To suggest that all Americans are in favour of that, as some of my friends on the left at home do, is really just not acceptable. The problem is for people who don't have the opportunity to come to the United States of America, it's very hard for people like yourselves to manifest that side of what you do, because most of what we get is the Fox News agenda. You know, we get that kind of stuff. So we are desperately in need of a signal from that other America, from that positive America, that barn-raising America, that great tradition that you have of barn-raising, where you all get together to help a family to raise one. That sense of understanding your power and choosing to try and use it with us.